Welcome to Transitions with Dr. Tam, where I am thankful all month long for whatever. It's been a great month, it's been a great week, and I hope that you are having a great week as well. So let's just talk about what I'm grateful for this week. This week, I had the amazing pleasure of meeting someone in person that I've actually known for a few years online. I know, it was so cool. And I was so kind of, starstruck a little bit. So you've heard me talk about this on a few episodes back where I mentioned a guy named Lul Mengesha. And for what it's worth, he is one of the most brilliant minds and hilarious people. So he just so happened to be in Austin last week, and we weren't able to make that connection when he was in Austin. He was there for a conference, and of course, just our availability did not line up. But when he texted me and told me that he was actually going to be coming into the DFW Metroplex, I felt away because it had been years. Like I had wanted to see him and our other moderators, Aiden and Terhas, who I have yet to meet, but I'm so grateful that I was able to connect with Lul. And when I tell you, there was a moment where I was just like, this is really happening. It had already been an especially rough day for me. So for him to kind of show up and us be able to connect on a day that I was just not really enjoying was great. It was great. It was really the happy ending to a very long and tumultuous day. So that is something that I'm very grateful for. I'm grateful that there are people in my life who I might not be in direct contact with on a day-to-day basis, who I genuinely feel have my back and have my best interest in mind. And based on the reason why we connect and the ways we connect, I know that this is a forever friend. And that's one thing I can say I can appreciate about what the internet or social media has to offer. I know that there are terrible downsides to it. There are a lot of devastating things that have happened to people because of the influence that having access to the entire world brings. But there are some good things. And I think it's important to understand and note the good things. Had it not been for Clubhouse, I would not have met some incredible people to which I owe so much of good moments during the pandemic, too. I wouldn't have these long lasting friendships with people who I probably never would have crossed paths with. And I'm very grateful that I have been able to enter into their lives in the way that I have. And check this out, it's a much smaller world than we realize. So, some of the people that I was able to connect with during those Therapy Thursday days on Clubhouse also know other people that I know. So, even though they live in New York and DC and Seattle, we know some people in Houston and in Utah, and it's crazy how just the world is much smaller than we think it is. But at the same time, it's very big, and as big as it is, we've made it smaller just by building community with each other. So that's something from this week that I'm very grateful for. Grateful for Lowell, grateful for the connections that I have made with these incredible people who I am still to this day very much just adoring from a distance. Like when I see the things that they're accomplishing from afar, I'm just like, wow, I get to know these people and I get to have shared a piece of their history with them. And I am forever grateful just when I see friends that I've come across doing big things, just doing big things on TikTok, doing big things with TV shows that they've written, advocacy work that they're doing. I'm just in awe that I was even allowed time in their space. So to have met him in person was actually just a prayer answered, honestly, just to be able to see and physically be in the same space with such a brilliant person was humbling for me and definitely, yeah, awe inspiring. So, all that to say, shout out to Clubhouse, shout out to Therapy Thursday, Lil, Terhas, Aiden. I love you to pieces, and I'm so, so, so happy that our paths crossed. And now I just got to get away to see my girls. I saw my boy, but I got to figure out a way to see my girls because, yeah, it just goes up from there. So, let's find some time to connect. And I pray that very soon our paths cross. Love y'all to pieces. Here's another thing that I'm very grateful for. Listen, work is work, and it is not called work for no reason. It is work because it is work. And I know as cliche and as simple as that sounds, it is work, meaning your girl has worked. So, as of the airing of this episode, I am excited to say that tomorrow is Friday, and it is a Friday that precedes a week off work. Let me tell you, Thanksgiving could not get here fast enough. And I am thankful for 7 days of rest. I have no intentions of doing any hard labor. I'm not entertaining any difficult conversations. I'm not going to do anything that is going to cause me any kind of strife or stress or pain. I'm going to sleep and binge watch TV and eat things. I'm so excited about it. And I'm very grateful that I just get to have this week off. So, that is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to tomorrow being Friday. And let me tell you something. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie School of Rock, where Jack Black plays a substitute teacher. Maybe he was a teacher. I'm not sure. It's been a long time since we've seen the movie. But he plays this teacher who, when it is time to leave, when that dismissal bell rings, he's the first one out the parking lot. Like, his car is empty first, and kids are just barely walking out the door because of the rough day he had at work as a teacher. And he's like, yo, I'm out of here. That's me tomorrow. That's me tomorrow. I am going to burn rubber. I'm not going to stop. And so, what are you guys doing for the break? Tell me what you're doing today. You should have said something yesterday, but your girl is gone. You hear? And I think that every educator can attest to having that same feeling. We need these breaks. So, I know that, it is glorified from the outside looking in. Teachers that get summers off and, all of these kinds of things that people assume is just this luxury because of the breaks that are built into the education system. Let me tell you that they are actually self-care mental health breaks. The stress that we endure with just curriculum, it is constantly, just trying to figure out how to make the best of situations that we don't have a lot of control over. So when we get an opportunity just to step back and enjoy our families and enjoy our time and enjoy our, just a day where you don't have to log on and be afraid of what the email says. It's a good time. So this is a shout out to the educators out there who are waking up early and staying up late, trying to prepare another day for students and for staff and for families and just build community with people you didn't even know before August who are going to be with you up until May. For all of our kindergarten teachers who are teaching kids how to tie their shoes and how to share, all the way up to our teachers who are teaching seniors, who are helping them prepare for what life as an adult looks like. Congratulations. You made it to Thanksgiving, and I am thankful for you and the hard work that you're doing. My personal children are benefiting from all that you're putting out there into the world. My kids come home and tell me about teachers who love them and principals who engage with them on a personal level. To all of our counselors out there who are on the front line of the mental health help that all of our students and staff needs, I applaud you. It is not easy to walk into work every day and hear about the worst things that have happened in people's lives and still have to smile and put on programs and put on opportunities for students to be educated and cultured and exposed to different things that without you, they would have never been exposed to. So shout out to you, all of our social emotional helpers and workers and teachers and advisors. And you guys, we're in the trenches. So let me just say that I acknowledge the work that you are doing and benefit from the work that you are doing. And I'm throwing myself in there. I am out here, y'all. I am out here, and it is hard, but it is so worth it. And I am thankful not only for this break, but that I am taking a break from something that I actually love. It is not always easy, and it doesn't always feel rewarding in the moment. But when I see kids walk across that stage, or when I walk into any random store and someone says, "Oh my God, it's you. I haven't seen you since third grade." Oh my God, that does my heart so much good. So it's definitely worth it. and getting those testimonies and stories of students who are succeeding when they're still in school, and then post graduation, it's always just a reminder that I don't do this for myself, but I'm grateful that I get to do it. And at the same time, because two things can be true at the same time, I'm grateful that I am setting it down for a week so I can just spend this time with my family. So speaking of family, I want to finally drag some people in who are the reason why I am. So I want to hear from my parents who are off celebrating their 46th wedding anniversary. I want to hear from them how they are doing. So stay tuned as I make this very impromptu phone call to my amazing parents. They don't know that I'm about to do this, but I want to call my parents to see how they're doing. So stay tuned so we can listen to that phone call. We'll be right back. Hey, Ma.
Hey,
What you doing?
what you want?
I want to know what you're
Come on,
doing.
what am I doing? I'm sitting at the park.
She's
At the
making out.
Shut up.
Ooh, you making that with my father?
No, I ain't making out with your father.
Yes, she was.
Don't you be quiet. It's, it's,
This is
She being
great.
fast.
Ooh,
huh?
Mama, you being fast.
You don't believe nothing your father
I
say.
believe everything my daddy is telling you
I don't know why.
because my father wouldn't steer me in the wrong direction.
Yes.
Oh, but I would.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what your intentions are. I just called to ask
You be
you
quiet.
what you're doing, and the first thing you said was, "What do you want?" And I'm just like, I don't, I don't know how we got here. I would have video called you, but I don't video call married people no more. I'm
They
still
crazy if they answer the phone.
No, sometimes when you video call people who are married, especially on their anniversary weekend, you never know. They might accidentally answer and you didn't want to see that.
We sitting out here at a park looking at the duck.
At the Ducks, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a
So,
question I wanted to ask you.
mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, happy anniversary. So how
Thank you.
you're welcome. How long has it been?
What do you want?
Answer my question. Goodness.
It's been 46 years.
46 years. That is longer than I've been alive, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and your brother too. Thank
And
you
Reggie
very
too.
much.
I know y'all been
Yes.
together for a long time. That's like over half of your entire life that you've been with
Oh my
Daddy.
gosh.
You've been
Yes.
I'm trying to be like Sarah.
trying to be like Sarah from the Bible.
You ain't listening to your father. Come on here. He's delusional.
He's in
I
love.
tell him, I tell him to sit on the bench and hold hands and enjoy getting gray together. He want to act like he 18 years old.
Well, it seems like it's been working for 46 years.
No, no, it getting on my nerves.
Grandma being fresh.
I am not being fresh. You the fresh.
Being fresh.
Mama,
Anyway,
what
darling,
what are you doing that's being so fresh with my
Trying to hold
dad?
my hand.
I ain't doing nothing.
Yes, she was.
Your daddy, your daddy living 46 years ago. Told me, remember how fast you used to be? Remember how I like you. Be quiet.
Listen,
Something wrong with
yuck, first of all. Second of all,
she say she say yuck first of all. Yuck bought you two kids.
hello?
Yup.
And let me just say that that's probably the best part
I was so
of
confused.
y'all's relationship. Reggie and I, y'all have the perfect kids. How does that
Nope,
feel?
nope. The perfect kid gave us perfect grandkids.
Oh, good Lord. I saw that when you posted
The-
that. I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, well played. The perfect children brought you four great grandchildren.
yes,
The
ma'am.
grandkids are medium. They're
They
medium.
great.
That's
They're my
debatable.
babies.
That's debatable.
They're my babies.
Okay,
And
so
then
question.
hmm
I want to know what it is that you are grateful for.
you want to know what I am grateful for?
If you were just going to just start
I
talking about things that you're grateful for, what's coming to mind?
I am grateful for life, health, and strength. I'm grateful for love of family. I'm grateful for my kids and the successes that they've accomplished. Why?
I just want to know because sometimes you won't be
Oh,
grateful. I need to know. I just got to make sure that you're still grateful in life,
yeah, I am very grateful.
especially about that part about the kids. Talk
Mm,
more specifically about your daughter,
mm,
because you know,
mm. Are you ever something wrong with your daughter?
What?
Talk more specific. I am grateful for
oh,
my daughter, accomplishments, things that she did, and the struggles that she's gone through, and in spite of those struggles, she still had a I can and I will and I am attitude.
I
So
love
it's really,
that. I need to write that down. That sounded so good.
mm,
Who is it you talking
mm,
about? Listen, I need to
mm.
write that down because that just blessed me. And I
Yes, I
can,
do.
and I am, and I will attitude. I just want you to know that I got that from somewhere. I didn't make that
Mm,
up. I feel like
mm.
I've observed that over these past 41, almost 42 years of the people who raised me with the I can and I am and I will. And I'm grateful for you and my father and this beautiful marriage that you guys have. Marriage is not
Oh, thank
easy.
you.
I know.
No, it's not.
It can't
It
be.
sure isn't.
Listen, motherhood
That's
is
what
not
this man
easy.
over here.
Get out of here. That man is
Stop
amazing.
being fresh.
She said her dad is amazing. Your father is amazing.
I know.
He is a great supporter. He's a great provider.
That's great.
He's calm, cool, and collected.
That is
He
true.
loved me in spite of.
I that's so great. Okay, so over 46 years, what is something that you would say that you can appreciate about daddy now that you didn't even know you would benefit from when you first met him?
Wow.
That's a good
I,
question, isn't
I,
it?
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What I appreciate about Daddy now that I didn't know then,
Mm-hmm.
his
Oh
stick
my.
to it to me,
What did he say?
his body.
His body.
That is
Oh
nasty. I'm
my
telling you, girl.
God.
I have a mind, you know.
I appreciate his stick to itiveness.
I love it. I love it.
In spite of it, he remains the same. He doesn't let situations and issues change his thought process.
Mm-hmm.
I love that about him.
I love it. Okay, ask him the same question. Put him on the phone.
Hold on.
Hola.
Hey, daddy, how are you?
No, bueno.
I love it. I love that we're bilingual on this day.
Sí, sí.
First of all, happy Veterans Day. I know
Así es,
it's
señorita.
okay, Daddy. Listen, I have a question for
What?
you. I
Yes.
just asked Mama what is something that she is grateful for that she benefits from her relationship with you now that she didn't realize she was getting when she first met you. So I'm having the same question for you. What is it about my mother that is like, oh my gosh, had no idea that this was the woman that I'm marrying, but I am so glad I did. What is it?
Your mother's connection to people.
I don't like these.
Your mother
Hmm.
is famous, you know that?
I don't
She's
like these.
so
She has
famous.
she has such a great circle,
She
and
does.
it just brings me before great people.
Mm.
So, due to my relationship with her, I'm like that guy that has the Proverbs woman.
Yeah.
They call me great because of her.
Oh,
So
that's so
I know all
sweet.
these folks. I get to meet all these interesting people,
Yeah.
and I thought I was big time until I realized that her circle was bigger than mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it was like, wow, I can just benefit from all of this.
So mom has opened up a world that you otherwise probably would not have ever touched or had access to. And her
Correct.
greatness, you shine when she shines.
Right.
I like
And
that.
she exposes me to different ideas.
Yeah.
Like I'm not that political person that's going to go look for things in the political arena where
Yeah.
she is, and then we get to talk about it. So now I get to know things that otherwise I probably wouldn't be interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Same.
but now I find it fascinating.
Yeah. When your wife texted me and said, "Look, these are the propositions that's going on in Texas. Have you voted yet?" Like I was like, "Wait, first of all, I feel attacked." But secondly, thank you for that consciousness because the things that she was bringing to my attention directly
Stop playing
affect
about
me.
me.
I thought that was brilliant. So I was like,
Yeah,
let's go. Absolutely. Took my
yeah,
behind right onto them polls too. I was like, this is going to put money in my pocket. Let me go ahead and make these things happen in this voting line. So
yeah. See,
yeah,
those are all the things that I realize now that we didn't have back when we were younger.
right, right.
So
I love it. I love it. So you love your wife. Y'all over there celebrating 46 years and she's being fresh.
Yes, she is.
She just can't keep her hands off you.
She can't. I don't understand it. I keep telling her I have a mind too.
Oh,
Daddy, put mama back on the phone.
Okay.
I
Love
love you.
you.
Love you too. That's great. Where did you guys go to celebrate?
we're in Chandler, Arizona.
Y'all having a good time?
Yeah, it's really nice.
I love it.
And so we were going to go to this place. It was a nice little restaurant called The Peg.
Mhm.
And we canceled the reservations because we would have probably spent, it's almost like Ruth Chris
Mhm.
spent $200 or $300 for a meal. And
Mhm.
then I'm like, we ain't been to Cheesecake Factory. So that's where we went.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
We
Here's
don't,
what's so funny
I
about
do
that.
too.
There's this thing
Huh.
going on right now on the internet with women talking about they're not dating guys that take them to the Cheesecake Factory. And I'm like, okay, well, that's why y'all not dating people. Like, I think the Cheesecake Factory is fine, especially
What's
because
wrong with the cheese?
I don't know. You just know this is a demographic of people and I don't know, just a section of women who feel like they deserve more, a more expensive place to go. Listen, the older I get, one thing that I've just come to appreciate is what does our downtime look like? Like, I'm pretty sure
Exactly.
anytime that I spend with someone where we're going all out and pulling out all the stops, it's going to be fun and fanciful. But what about when everybody is away and it's just a weekend and there's nothing to do? Will I enjoy spending time with that person? Right. So I don't have a problem with the first, second, 45th, 80th date being at the Cheesecake Factory. Because really, what I'm wanting to enjoy is a person's company and their mindset, their conversation, and all that
Exactly.
stuff. And maybe hold their hand too, because it seems like that's what you and my daddy are out there doing.
Daddy always hold my hand. I can't walk. I can't get out the car without him hold my hand. I'm like, I can go by myself.
You won't be grabbing my hand.
I'll be
That's
grabbing your
you
hand.
be
You be
grabbing
grabbing
his head.
mine.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
I
Oh my,
and
guess what
then
I
yesterday he took me walking in this park. This park is just dynamic. If I lived here, I'd be here every day.
at the park?
Yeah, it's a fishing pond you can fish in. Then it's got paved concrete that you can walk, or you can go in the back in the woods or a trail.
Mm-hmm.
Or we went through the trail yesterday. I'm like, I think we're lost.
That's funny.
We we
Listen.
found our way. But that's
So
the part about what I do like about this is that yeah, we could have stayed at the pig and spent $200.
Mm-hmm.
And I say we can do that on major anniversary, but then I'm like, we ain't gone to the Cheesecake Factory in a long time, and we
Mm-hmm.
don't have one in El Paso. So
I
I
didn't
mean,
realize
we
that. Y'all
spent
don't have a cheesecake factory in El Paso?
mm,
I didn't know that.
so I'm like, let's go there. And so we canceled that reservation quick. We ain't have to
Mm-hmm.
dress up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
at the other place you have to kind of dress, but we ain't have to dress up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we did fancy last year, but
Yeah.
this is fun to me just sitting outside,
Yeah. Just sitting outside having a good time.
relaxing, looking at other people. That's why I like the old. Have you seen The Golden Bachelor?
I haven't, but I have heard that I should watch it. I've heard it's more
Yeah.
endearing than other
Is
seasons.
then yeah, the other stuff. My other stuff is just people trying to.
Be on TV.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he's elderly. He take his went to see the families, and you talking to grandkids, not
Mm-hmm.
just children. You know what I mean, or
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah. Yeah. A much fuller life.
hmm Exactly.
Yeah. That's what I do wish that some reality shows would kind of hone in on, because as much as I love watching certain shows for the psychological experiment that I'm picking up from behind it, it doesn't really mimic real life. Like a woman like me
No,
who's been married, has children, and about to experience a different phase of my life as my kids grow up, I don't really see TV show my depiction of what life looks like, which ends up making us feel like somewhat love isn't available to
exclude.
us because I'm not this woman with a hot bod and no history. Like, no, I got real life goals and fears. So I love that the Golden Bachelor kind of is all inclusive with people who have already lived and are still in search of love, because it kind of
In search
opens
of
up
love,
that
and
possibility for
they
us.
not, and they're yeah, and you see that like the one lady was, saying, it brought life back to her because sometimes when you're getting older, you're unseen.
Yeah, yeah, That's true.
You're unseen, and so
I have
that
to check
gave
it
her
out.
some. It's good. I like it. Did you ever see that shit? Did you start looking at
Black
the black
Cake. I
cake?
haven't seen it yet. I was going to watch that after I get off the phone with you.
Girl, I'm telling you,
It's really good.
it is,
Have you
and
watched the
everybody
shows that
talking
I
about it on
told
the
you to
internet
watch
now.
yet? Have you
What?
watched Murderville?
The Office?
The Office? Yes. Mama,
I'm looking at
you
that
made me a
crap.
shirt that says that's what she said.
I know. I still regret that. I have no idea.
Okay,
But
well,
yeah.
I want to thank you because 7 minutes of this or so, maybe even 10, depending on how the editing goes, will be on my podcast.
No, it's not because
It
I
is.
wasn't. I didn't have on my professional
You
voice.
did. It was great. You and Dad talked about how
No,
much you love each other, and it's going to be an amazing segment on what we're grateful for.
this girl is snuck at our
I already
conversation,
told you.
and
I already told you that this was going to happen.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought you said
you thought I was kidding the last time I said that?
we have to do it over.
No, this is actually really great.
No, because I could have talked about his spiritual life.
No, this is perfect because it's organic.
So anyway, I guess I'm tired of talking to you now.
Okay. That works for me. Well, enjoy my
Huh?
father.
I'm not enjoying that, man.
Happy anniversary nonetheless.
Happy anniversary, she says to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, y'all enjoy. I love
We
you.
shall.
I will talk to
Love
y'all
you
later.
too.
Okay.
Okay.
Love you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Oh my gosh, are they not the cutest? Oh my god, I love the fact that they're away, you know. My parents have sacrificed so much for my brother and me. My dad was in the military, so that's why you hear me saying happy Veterans Day to him. And the military afforded us an incredible life. But one thing I also know that came because of the military is my dad being away a lot of times. And so mom had to facilitate life sometimes like a single woman, having to set aside her own desires because she can't take the kids with her and doesn't have my father in town at the time to help. And because of the military, we also spent a great deal of time away from the rest of our family. So there wasn't a built-in babysitter because everybody is in the States and we were living in Germany or just in a state where other family members did not live. So I know what sacrifice looks like, and I know my parents can identify with some of the things that I would say I experienced as a single parent. I know that my mom can relate, but I also know that my mom can relate to really missing her husband. Like there's nothing like at the end of the day having experienced what you've experienced as a mother, as a professional, or just as a human being that just deals with life, the life that we humans have to encounter, and not always having access to your partner. That's for my both of my parents. And my dad spent a year in Korea or on the field. He had his soldiers, but that's not his wife. And so there were times when they weren't able to just connect physically or even on the phone. This was before cell phones. So there wasn't always access just to connect with each other when duty called. So for my parents to have a strong marriage and be able to enjoy each other's company the way that they do is a blessing to me because it shows me that they didn't just spend their entire marriage being parents. They were intentional about their relationship. And now that my brother and I are gone and grown, look at them. They are holding hands. And I don't care how many times you hear my mom say, "This man won't leave me alone." She can't live without him. And he can't live without her. And I think that is so beautiful. I also thought it was beautiful what their takeaway was. Their takeaway about each other is much different than my observation as their child. And I actually heard someone say that to me before. A friend of mine who I was just asking some relationship advice at the time from a male's perspective. One of the things that he said is he looks at his parents, understanding that they're his parents, but also tries to observe what it is they see about each other as a husband and wife. And those are the things that he emulates in his marriage with his wife. What would my mom do to her husband? How did my dad respond to his wife? And he's picked up on those cues when he just observed his parents as a married couple as opposed to just observing his parents as parents. I can honestly say that I have observed my parents as parents. And I think that might be why I'm such a great mom. But taking the time to observe them as a couple, I didn't always realize what that dynamic was because it just seems so seamless and effortless to me. So, fast forward, I know what marriage is. I can now understand how hard marriage is. So, I can appreciate them because I know how hard they worked to get to a place to where it looks effortless and seamless, number one. And number two, that after the cameras go off, and when I say cameras, I mean the eyes of your children. We don't have to pretend to be okay for the sake of the kids. We don't have to hang out and play these games when we're secretly mad at each other because we're doing a family thing. No, all the sheets are off, the windows are open, the cameras are off. They are just each other's company at this point. So, them being able to enjoy each other now speaks volumes because they don't have to do it for anyone's comfort or benefit. They literally love each other, and I think that's amazing. And I think it's amazing that they are intentional about going away to spend this time with each other because one thing that's very true is they're active in ministry. My mother is very active politically, but all of those things come second to each other. And I love that. I love that about them. And I just thought it was so cool that my dad calls my mom famous because, I really do look up to my parents. And from my vantage point, daddy is this prolific speaker, right? So for him to admire that about my mom, her influence and her connection with people, I thought was so beautiful because my dad is an introvert and he's also very shy. So he's not out there unless he's preaching, right? Or talking about sports, go Ravens. But for my mom who's out there and she draws people, for him to admire the fact that that exposes him to a life and a world that he otherwise would not have ever tapped into, I thought was great. I thought that was great. I wasn't expecting him to say that. I thought it was great that he said that. And then for my mom to highlight the stick-to-itiveness also implies that there have been reasons to bounce out. Life gets hard, parenting gets hard, finances get hard, all of that kind of stuff. But my dad's insistence on figuring it out and standing by her. If you knew her history, you would understand. I'm not going to put it out there, but it is honorable for my mom to observe a healthy male relationship where a man stands by his word and treats her like the queen that she is. And I'm grateful that she experienced that with my father. That's what I observed from my father, which is incredible for me. I did have a very amazing childhood just observing their relationship. But again, it could have been just my observation because of what they hid from me. But to hear from my mother that what I observed is accurate is golden. That's just golden. So, yes, happy anniversary to my mom and dad. I can honestly say that I am thankful for having been raised by them and to have observed love and experienced love at the degree that they displayed it and gave it to me. I'm very grateful for that. So, yeah, I love it. I love it so much. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to all of you who have been the reason why I've been continuing on with this podcast. You guys, it's been 16 episodes, I think. I don't know. I've kind of lost count at this point. But it's been 16 amazing opportunities to connect with each of you. And I'm so grateful for the feedback that I've gotten, the messages and sometimes the calls and the likes and the shares. I really honestly just want to say thank you to all of you for how loyal you've been and how connected you've been and just helping me get this done because it was definitely a fear of mine, but you guys have made me feel so comfortable. So with that, I'm going to allow this episode to be my season 1 finale. Next week is Thanksgiving, and after that, we're going to jump into my birthday. Yes, I am turning 42 on the 28th of November, and then we're going to just jump into December and enjoy my family and the time that I'm going to be spending with them. So I will see you all in the next year. So until then, happy holidays, happy new year. Please be safe and Make sure that you are doing something that you love. Spend some time with some people that you love and just take it easy. Life can be hard, so as much as you can, take it easy. And thank you for tuning in to Transitions with Dr. Tam. We'll see you soon.